here. Man, it's cold. Might have to wear these gloves. Whew. I might have to wear these gloves out here. It's starting to get cold. Well, the people who are from up here, it's probably not that cold, but good morning. To me, it's a little cold. I mean, it's about 20 degrees out here in the Detroit area of Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, and yeah, it's a little cold. I mean, it doesn't normally get this cold in the Mid-Atlantic region, but that's all right. I'm just gonna go with it. It's a little bit warmer in this garage, so that's good. And I got my layers on. I got a long sleeve shirt on under my sweatshirt, and I also have my hat. I have these pair of Lululemon pants that I bought a few years ago that are still holding strong. They do really well in cold weather. Today, I'm doing a workout today, so follow along with me. I'm also going to introduce a move, do a tutorial on a move that I like to do. Let me adjust the camera. Called the pendulum is what a lot of people call it. That's probably the best name for it. So it looks like this. When you're jumping, you're just going back and forth like this. And it has a lot of advantages. You're moving from side to side, so you're using different muscles than you would be moving, going kind of forward like this. So it gives you a little bit of a break. So if you can combine the pendulum, this move right here, with the heel toe and the boxer step and different variations of the boxer step, it's going to help you jump rope for a lot longer because you're using different muscles with those three moves. These three moves, the pendulum, the heel toe, and the boxer step, are the three moves that I go to when I'm trying to do endurance jump rope. So jump rope for more than 3-4 minutes. I've jumped rope 45 minutes straight before, and those are the three moves that I use the most. So I'm going to go through a tutorial of that move today. All right, I'm going to start off with a warm up, and then I'm going to get right into it. This is probably going to be around a 30-minute or so workout. It'll be shorter, depending on how I feel. I'll shoot for 300 calories or so. I've been meeting my running goals this week. My goal is to always, with my run, I don't do too many short runs these days. They're more, most of the time, 4 miles and above. And for my 4-mile run, I always want to make sure to keep it under 7 minutes all the way through. So I just increase by 0.1 mile per hour. So now I'm up to about 8.8 miles per hour, which is, I think it's a 6:49 mile all the way through. I used to be able to get down into the 26s, but when the gyms closed because of COVID-19, it was hard to find a treadmill, but I invested in a treadmill over Christmas, and it's been a great investment so far. All right, now I'm going to try to do this without these gloves here and see what happens. I'll get warmed up pretty quick. All right, now we're going to do about a minute of boxer step or a minute of the shadow jump. What you can do here is try to incorporate the pendulum in here. I haven't really told you how to do it yet, but just try to mimic what I'm doing. From side to side like this. It's all you're doing. This is the move that I'm gonna take you through today. And then once you get more advanced, you can even do what kind of like what Floyd Mayweather does. He does a pendulum and then goes to the side like that and stays and does 2 on each side. You can do 3. So it's a lot easier to do it when you don't have the rope, of course. But bringing the rope in is going to help you with your timing, coordination, all that. All right. Getting warmed up. It's good to get your arms into it as well. You can move your arms however you want to. You can throw some punches or something. You can throw your arms out to the side. You can put your arms up like that. Sometimes I like to do what the famous boxer Jack Johnson, the first African American heavyweight ever. He won the heavyweight championship, I think back in like it was in the early 1900s, maybe 1912, 1914. But he did this during his warm-up. And surprisingly, this paired with the shadow jump really helps get your upper body warmed up, like this. It may look a little funny, but it does work. See, now my upper body's nice and loose. In cold weather like this, I think it's important to get really warmed up. All right, that's it for the warm-up. I got a couple ropes that I'm going to use today. One, I don't know if I'm going to use too much because the handles are very cold. The RX, I got the Bolt RX and the Rhythm rope. I'm going to probably throw in some weight training too with the kettlebell. All right. Now, I'm going to take the rope now. I'm going to go through what it should look like. So what I want you to do now, before we do the shadow jumping, or actually going through what the move looks like, is just try to do the move as best you can and get a feel for it once I do it. So just follow along with me. I'm going to start off with 3 minutes because that's what I like to do. If you can't do the move right away, don't feel bad about it. Just try. Look at me and just try to mimic what I'm doing. Then I'll get into the mechanics. But I'm showing you what this move should actually look like. All right, 3 minutes. Let's do it. Just watch me. This is what it is. You're just going side to side, horizontally. And you move over so you can see. This is the pendulum, what the pendulum looks like. This is a move you want to do, you want to learn it. Moving laterally is just as important as moving to the front. Now, other side. Here we go. I went too far over on the mat. See, that's the one thing you can run the risk of with this move. is since you're going from side to side, you're increasing your silhouette, your profile. And so it's easier for the rope to get caught on your foot. Seconds. All right, now. That could actually be a pretty good workout. Man, my hands are freezing. All right. So, now what it looks like without the rope. So if you're having trouble with it, it's perfectly normal to have trouble with a new move that you haven't tried before. So what should you do if you're having trouble? Well, what you should do is do it without the rope. So that's what we're gonna do here. So now that you know what it looks like, all you're doing with this move is just going from side to side, kind of like a hop. So just try doing this. You don't even need to go out too far. Like I'm doing, you can just go to the side and pause. Kind of like you're skipping from side to side. And just do a simple one. You don't have to go far out. Just because you see some people doing this, you don't have to do that. You can try it later on when you get the feel for it. But instead of the boxer step, you're just going from side to side like this and kind of tapping. Side to side, just tapping like this. And that's what it looks like a little bit faster. And remember, from the side, you really shouldn't be moving forward at all. If you're moving forward, I mean, you can do that, but focus on just moving laterally like that. This is what it looks like from a different angle where you can see. Now, try putting the rope in there. Remember what I said about this move? It increases your horizontal profile. So what that does is it increases the probability that you're going to trip over the rope. So you really have to time your wrists and your jumps together. It makes it even more important to do that. So just practice this. Put the rope in there too. Slow it down. That's what it should be. I don't know who's calling me here. Let me decline that call. You'd think I wouldn't get any calls on the weekends, but I don't think it's anything important. So that's all it is. Now, let me check and see if there's any questions here. But the pendulum it's pretty straightforward. So, yeah, you do touch with the foot on the outside. Yeah, you touch the ground with your foot. Both feet are on the ground. Both feet are on the ground. You're touching. You're not having this foot off the ground. Both feet are touching, so you can hear my feet. So one foot, so your inside foot is going to touch the ground just before the outside foot. So you can hear, I'll make a point to be louder so you can hear each foot hit the ground. So it's inside, outside, almost within almost a nanosecond of each other. And so we can do it like that. That's how you should do it. All right, now with this move, the best way to do this, to test to see if you have it, is to do your shadow jumping, get one of your ropes or the rope. Remember, to master a move, you want to be able, I don't know if master is the right word, but to get to the point where you're confident enough to try to say that you have the move down pretty well. You have the muscle memory, you've established the pathway in your brain, is 100 jumps, and you've established the physical ability to do it, the cardio aspect of it, is 100 jumps in a row. That will tell you that you have the cardio to do the move, and you have the skill and the pathway in your brain. You've formed the muscle movement to be able to get it. So let's try 100 in a row, and if I mess up, then I'll be going back to 100, right? So let's go ahead and do it. 100 jumps using the pendulum. Ready? And go. I got 100, so that means that I've been able to master, in a sense, this move. Another important thing with this move is to make sure you're not twisting your hips anywhere. All the movement is going from laterally. It's not going out like this, so you're not going like this. You're not doing that in this move. All you're doing, you're keeping your body straight, and you're not going forward, you're not going backward, you're going laterally. So there's no anything like that. It's, see, my hips are completely straight. The only movement from my hips are coming with moving my legs laterally. That's it. That's the only way you should be moving with this move in particular. Now, I mean, there's other moves that we've done on this channel where you're like the Manny Pacquiao jump, where you're twisting your hips like this. That's not a move. This is not one of those moves. All you're doing, back and forth, like a clock, like a pendulum. Back and forth, laterally. Not frontward, not backward. All right? If you have any questions about the move, just put them in the chat. I've tried to describe it as best I can. So what I'm gonna do now, we'll go in, we'll do another 3-minute jump with the pendulum, maybe with some other moves in there. We'll do a 3-minute jump with the pendulum. If you just try to make it the whole 3 minutes, if you mess up or you're having trouble, then just keep trying. But you wanna be able to practice this move, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to do it, and it is a great move for endurance jumping to add in with the heel toe and the boxer step. So we'll do another 3-minute jump, continue to burn calories, and then since we got the 100, we'll go into some more advanced variations of it and practice that as well. All right, another 3-minute jump. Just the regular pendulum. Don't try to do anything special here. And remember, you don't have to go all the way out like that if you don't want to. You can keep it a little bit more tight like I'm doing right now. If you're feeling confident and you want to speed it up, go ahead. You almost tripped over the rope right there. I gotta slow it down. The key is to Stay light on the balls of your feet, just like any other jump rope move. If you're going back too far on your feet, you're not going to have the movement that you need to keep doing this move over and over again. Make sure you keep your back straight. Make sure you're standing tall, not hunched over. This is going to test your coordination, your timing, your cardiovascular ability, everything all at once. You can listen to my feet. My inside foot is hitting the ground just before my outside foot. Good. Stand tall, stay on the balls of your feet. Keep your wrists rotating. Got around 40 seconds left. If you're messing up, that's okay. You just have to keep trying. This is what the move looks like from the side view. All right. Keep going, keep going. Remember, you just want to move laterally. 10 seconds. There you go. There it is. All right. Go through it again. Remember that the keys to this move are really, first off, not to think about it too much. But you want to always start with that without the rope. Kind of like that movie Hoosiers. I think the coach in that movie that Gene Hackman played, his methods were not the best, but some of his strategies, the way he went about things and talking to the coaches, the players, and the parents wasn't the best example. But one thing I did like about him and that coach in that movie, Hoosiers, is that they started practice, the first practice, without a basketball. And the idea behind that is that you have to get the fundamentals of the sport, of what you're doing down first. And sometimes that involves not even having the ball or the rope or the whatever seems to be the center of what you're doing involved at all. You just want to get the movements down. And you can do that without a basketball. You can do that without the jump rope. And a lot of the times where people mess up with anything, jump rope, basketball, any kind of sport or skill they're trying to learn, is they try to dive right in. And it's really tempting to want to dive right in. But the real key is to try it without the rope first. Try the movement without the rope. Because if you can't do the movement without the rope, you're not going to be able to do the movement with the rope. The rope only makes it more complicated because it's another variable. You have to worry about the rope tripping over your feet and hitting your leg, right? So you want to keep it as simple as possible. You want to always start with the fundamentals. And sometimes that involves not having the equipment and just getting the movement down with your body, all right? So if you're ever having problems getting it, if you're tripping over the rope every 5 or 10 times, that's a good indicator that you probably need to put the rope up for a little while and take a break completely until you get your confidence back, until you're ready to go back if you've been getting frustrated, or it's an indicator to try to practice without the rope. So now that we have the basic move down, this one, we're gonna go for a more advanced version of the move, and it's gonna require a little bit more coordination. And this is very similar to what you might have seen Floyd Mayweather doing in the Fight Hype video that has around 13 million views, I think, at this point on YouTube. So what Floyd Mayweather is doing is he's not doing this exact move, but he's doing something that's the same in principle. He is doing kind of like a pendulum move, except he's doing more of a boxer step. But you can also use the pendulum to do it. So what he would be doing if we put his move into the pendulum is he'd be doing the regular pendulum move, and then 2 on each side, and then back to the pendulum, and then 2. Now there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You don't have to turn out like that. You can go to the side while still being forward. You can also bring your knee up a little bit. But what we're going to do, because that's what I love about jump rope too, there's so many different ways you can do a move. But what we're going to do here is try to keep it as simple as possible. So 1, 2, instead of just this, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. And each time you're doing this, you're jumping over the rope. Listen to my feet. So when you do this part, all you're really doing is you're doing a regular jump, but you're just, one foot is facing forward, the other foot, toes pointed out a little bit more. And it's protruding to the side a little bit, so you're just jumping like this. That's all you're doing. You can point your toe out a little bit, you can keep it pointed in. It's easier to point it out for me, and just to follow the natural movement of your body when you stay out for 2 beats. See? All right, now I'm going to do 2 minutes or 3 minutes of this. And I'm going to show you how what you end up doing is when you start taxing, when you start using your mind more to do more complicated moves, in my opinion, it makes you concentrate more, which also causes you to use more energy, so you're working out even harder. That's just my view of things. I found it with that Muay Thai rope that I tried about a week ago, I was having to concentrate so much because it was so difficult to use that it actually made the workout more effective. I was more tired afterwards. All right, now I'm going for 3 minutes. I'm going to do the more advanced variation of this. I'm going to do the 1, 2, and then I'm going to do the pendulum, and then the 1, 2. So try this move. Try it. Even if you don't think you can do it, you still want to try it because you want to prove to yourself you can do it. You're never going to be able to do it if you don't try. All right, 3 minutes. Let's do it. Now we can just kind of warm up, get into it. Don't go right into it. Warm up. Okay, now we're going. Here we go. Pendulum. 1, 2. 1, 2. Here we go. Just keep that same intensity. And look at me if you get confused. You want to alternate sides each time. I'm on my left, now I'm on my right, left, right. See, once you mess up, you just gotta keep going. I was trying to turn to the side. Now you can keep it Close in, you don't have to go all the way out like I'm doing. You can keep it close in. See, the more advanced it gets, the harder it can be. But if you're tripping over the rope, that means timing is off. So my timing is off there. Just a little bit, but enough. That's a very good workout. Most definitely. When you add something new like that in, it always kicks it up a little bit. All right. We're getting closer to the end. Got around 228 calories so far, I think. Yeah. So, and that's with the instruction. All right, now that you've seen what it looks like, you've tried it, let's go into it and do our best to get 100 in a row. Even though we just did it, you may not have made it through. I don't think I got 100 in a row. I tripped up twice. So what we want to do with the 100 in a row is validate that we have the move down and that at least at some point we were able to get 100 in a row. So it does a couple things. It creates that pathway, but also it gives us a self-confidence. If we do mess up in the future, after we get that 100, if we mess up in the future, we can at least say, hey, I can actually do this. I've done this before. I might be struggling with it now, but I've done this before. And just that will give you the confidence that you need to do it again and to not mess up anymore. All right, so we're going for 100 in a row. Let's get it. Let's do this. We're doing the Floyd Mayweather, the double, the pendulum with the double variation. So what I just did, like that. All right, let's do it. 100 in a row. This is our confidence builder. This is the validation. We don't want to go right into it. Start off by getting your rhythm with the pendulum. All right, let's do it. Oh, I messed up, so I'm going to start over again. This is what you got to do. I got around 70, but I messed up, so you got to try it again. Let's go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It might have been a little bit more, but that's all right. So what that 100 does is it gives us the confidence that we know that even if we try it again and we're failing to get over the rope, we're having trouble getting over the rope, that we know we've done it in the past, and it does create that muscle memory that we need to do these moves. All these moves are pretty much muscle memory, and that's really what it is. Yeah, heavier rope does help with this one, most definitely. That's a good point. I have a real pretty light ropes here, but if you have a heavier rope, that's the way to do it, because there's a lot of movements here, and if you have a lighter rope, it's not going to give you that feedback that you want, right? And so it's going to be tough. So definitely use a lighter rope if you're having trouble. All right, now I'm going to finish up this workout by putting together the different moves. And this is the level that you want to get to eventually. I talked about the boxer skip. I talked about the heel toe, and now the pendulum. These are my 3 favorite moves to do when I'm doing jumps of like 3 minutes or more. The reason is because it helps you, it switches up the muscles that you're using in your legs, which really helps, because it helps rest some of the muscles while you're working the other ones. All right, so 3-minute jump. This is going to end the workout here. So, I got the boxer step. Yeah, go with the heel toe for a little while. See, that if, excuse me, that's the goal. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world, I'm clearly not, but that's the goal that I would say with moves like that you want to be able to get to, right? So you want to be able to link them all together without having any trouble. It's going to make the time go by faster because just doing one move over and over again, it does get a little bit boring. And being able to string them together, it's going to be able to give you some rest on certain muscles. It's also going to give you some variation. Variation is something that I think a lot of people underestimate when it comes to exercise. We all need some kind of variation and change in our workouts. Well, at least most of us do. Some people can do the same workout every day and it doesn't really bother them, but most people aren't like that. You want to introduce some changes to your workout, and doing these different moves will definitely help you do that. And then being able to string them together like that, it becomes really fun because you can show that you've truly mastered being able to do those moves. If you can do maybe 10 heel toes and then switch seamlessly to 10 boxer steps and then 10 pendulums, or you're doing maybe 2 heel toes, 5 boxer steps, a couple of pendulums, and then you're just going back and forth. You add some double unders in there, and then once you do that, it's becoming almost like an art form where you're just saying, what can I do next? What can I throw in there? And you create your own thing, and it becomes really awesome to be able to create your own sequence that no one else other than you can truly replicate. They can try, but they're not going to be able to do it just like you. And so it becomes a nice art form and a way of self-expression. I'm gonna see if there's any questions here, and then, oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for the donations. I really appreciate that. 3 donations. Thank you so much for that. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. All right. I don't have anything else for today. I really appreciate you tuning in. It was a short workout. I got, even with the demonstration, I was able to burn 321 calories in 32 minutes. So that's pretty good. That's around a little less than 10 calories per minute, but that's still pretty good. The ropes I was using, I didn't end up using the cross rope just because it's still pretty cold out here. I don't think it's going to get higher than 27 degrees out here today, but that's all right. The summers here are really nice. The RX Smart Gear, the Bolt, didn't use it, but that's one of the ropes that I like to use. Rhythm rope. I believe the rhythm rope is now for sale on his website if you want to check that out. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great day. Have a great weekend as well.